spooky things this way blows. And I do get scared of the spooky things that blow this way.
I was like, who talks like that? Yoda? I haven't met him yet, but...
Where did this image come from? Blame it on George, they say. This is a request that we got.
In the comments.
It looks like something that's going to give you the goosebumps. Something that's going to give you the R.L. Steins all up and down your spines.
I love spooky things. All things spooky except video games that I have to play.
I have a song getting ready to come out called Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Nice.
About sleep paralysis demon.
I really like it.
Thank you. Scary stuff. Nikki just got done playing Resident Evil. Well, actually golf with friends afterwards, but Resident Evil before that.
Resident Evil for 2 hours.
For 2 hours. Resident
me,
Evil
that's a
7,
long time.
Biohazard, and if you have not been watching it, Nikki playing that game is hysterical. So
And Chad messing with me. But
Yes.
that's Mondays at 6:30. But today we're going to watch Where Did This Image Come From?
Blame It on
And
George.
It's not a creepypasta.
An urban legend.
What was
A
the
cursed
internet
man.
historian video that we watched?
Oh,
Jeff the
yeah,
Killer.
one of the Sundance rejects.
Yes, I think that it is about Jeff the Killer.
Yes. So, get ready. This is going to be super spooky. Grab your flashlight. Make your pillow fort. Make sure that you've got all the mouse traps out there to catch the monsters that accidentally
not a
your
bad
dad
idea.
steps on and the stove's broken. He's angry at you. Just make sure that you're ready because scary stuff is on its way.
This video is brought to you by Kamikoto Knives, the coolest product I've ever sponsored. Kamikoto makes these beautiful heavy-duty kitchen knives made of steel sourced from Japan, giving them a very distinct feel and look. Each blade comes in this cool ash wood box for safe storage. But it also makes for a great gift because of how it opens up. The handle is light and comfortable, the storage feels secured, and as someone who does a lot of cooking, the blade is super sharp. In fact, each knife is crafted through a rigorous multi-step process. Kamikoto is so confident about the quality of their knives that each one comes with a lifelong guarantee. So, go to kamikoto.com/Jorge, that's Jorge, to get
blame it on
$50 off
Jorge.
your purchase. On top of that, Kamikoto is having a massive extended New Year's sale just for you guys, on top of the $50 discount. So now is as good a time as ever to
I like
pick
the
up a
black
set of
ones.
knives.
Those look cool.
Yeah.
Again, go to kamikoto.com/Jorge
This is
to pick up a set
a
today.
good sponsor.
Thanks to Kamikoto for
Scary
sponsoring this video.
Oh, yeah. Just like some steel Japanese knives in a wooden box. What have they been used for in the past? Okay.
If you grew up with the earlier years of YouTube, then you may remember a small fad called creepypastas.
Mm-hmm.
They were online horror stories spread across the internet, and at the time were incredibly popular on YouTube. Nowadays, they've mostly fallen out of favor and have faded to internet history.
The dog
That is,
one?
except for Jeff the Killer, the story of a 13-year-old murderer with a severely disfigured face. The character has been revived into relevancy, not due to his story, but the image accompanying the story. For the past several years, people have been trying to find where exactly this image came from. The search has been long and arduous, and I'm far from the first to have talked about it. Let's start with the basics. The Creepypasta Wiki states that the story originated in 2011. We all know how it goes. Jeff and his family moved to a new town, where he and his brother get terrorized by local bullies. During one of these attacks, Jeff gets acid on his face and then gets lit on fire, causing him to go insane and giving birth to his iconic look. He carves a smile in his mouth, kills his family, and goes on a murder spree. The character of Jeff has gone on to become the face of the creepypasta community. Various spin-offs, sequels, and fan-made projects have been made due to
Freddy
the story's
versus
popularity.
Jeff.
However, this isn't even the original story. According to its
What?
author, a Newgrounds user named Seswar, he first posted about Jeff the Killer back in 2008. He writes, "The story of old Jeffy. He enjoys horror such as ghost stories or slasher films. Have you ever met him in person? This man is what other people call bizarre. He's like a Bloody Mary game, except you must perform it in the closet, turn off the lights, and sit down cross-legged. Repeat this saying 3 times while turning your head back and forth. Quote, he's in here with me. After the saying, close your eyes and call out the name Jeff. He'll appear by putting his face right up to you and proceed to yell and try to chant harm at you. To make him stop is to stand there and compliment him. Not doing so will result in a nightmarish field trip. You do the rest from their worms." I'm not even sure what that last sentence means.
No.
Nevertheless, it can be safely assumed that Seswar has the original photo, right? Well, what did it look like?
Just seems like there could be better things than just chanting.
When the internet began investigating this mystery, plenty of early leads were considered. But the one that really stood out involved a supposed woman named Katie Robinson. The story goes that back in early 2008, Robinson posted this photo of herself on 4chan's B or random board. 4chan users proceeded to ridicule her by heavily editing the photo into presumably the iconic Jeff the Killer image. Sometime later, a post was made onto 4chan by someone claiming to be Robinson's sister. The user writes, "Attention 4chan. Yesterday, I found my sister in her room crying her eyes out. I asked her why she was feeling down, and she said it was because she is fat. I became furious, demanding she tell me who was making fun of her. She said that she posted her pictures on a website called 4chan.org. She continued to say that the website made fun of her and posted shops of her picture. I am appalled. Take a good look at this picture, because this beautiful woman, my sister, committed suicide later last night." For a while, this was commonly believed to be the origin of the Jeff the Killer image.
What?
However,
Yeah.
there was never any proof of her death or her existence. When Googling Katie Robinson, most search results were just about the Jeff the Killer image mystery. Despite this, the urban legend persisted.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
To muddy the timeline further, Seswar was interviewed by fellow YouTuber Scare Theater in late 2015. During this interview, Scare Theater asked, quote, "The picture you used in your original Jeff the Killer video has become the iconic picture for Jeff. Where did you get the picture?" Seswar responded, quote, "The picture was made using a white latex mask and some big plastic eyes with a rubber substance that simulated blinking. There was also a black ring around the eyes that were on, covering the exposed red eyelid. After it was made, 2 or 3 pictures were taken and posted, and the rest is history." Scare Theater asks, "There has been some controversy over the picture. Apparently the picture is a photoshopped version of a girl named Katie Robinson, who was bullied and eventually killed herself. Do you know about this? If so, do you have anything to say about this?" Seswar responds, "I know all too well about this little inconvenience of a rumor, and I can assure everyone when I say that the rumor is completely bogus. I have no idea who came up with the rumor. It's most likely a troll, seeing as the person who got the information on the Katie Robinson rumor was a 4chan regular, and they're not exactly someone to take serious at all. While it's never directly stated, it is implied that Seswar took the photo himself using a white latex mask." Furthermore, in late 2019, YouTuber Gage uploaded an interview with Heather White, the true identity of Katie Robinson. White said her photo was stolen from her MySpace account and re-uploaded to 4chan as a sick prank. The Katie Robinson suicide story was entirely fabricated. Moreover, her photo can be traced back to a parody website called True Christian back in 2004. where a pastor, quote unquote, says some really nasty stuff. All in all, this lead has been thoroughly disproven, and it's good to hear that she's alive and well.
What?
People are crusty on the internet.
So, mystery solved. Seswar made the Jeff the Killer image himself and posted it back in 2008. In an interview with UK Horror Scene, he says, quote, "The pictures taken were long gone, and the mask was put in the closet after use, so it's definitely long gone. If I had that mask with me, there's no telling how valuable it would be."
Seriously.
That's true. It does not look like a mask to me.
This is where things start to get weird. Sometime later, a strange YouTube video translated as NNN Special Broadcast was found. This video was uploaded in August of 2007, and at around the 4-minute mark, the Jeff the Killer image briefly appears. At the time, this was the earliest known instance of the image appearing online, predating Seswar's story.
Ah.
Now, the NNN Special Broadcast is actually an urban legend in Japan. The story goes that, late one night, a Japanese citizen turned on the TV only to find nothing but static. Suddenly, colored bars appeared on screen, followed by an image of some kind of factory and a scrolling list of names. This went on for several minutes before ending with text saying something along the lines of, "This is towards the future," or "These are tomorrow's victims." The broadcast would suddenly end, and static resumed.
Creepy.
Our video accurately follows the myth and even throws in some spooky imagery and music for show. But it's merely a fan-made recreation, obviously inspired by the legend. In the end, there's even text saying so, and that all the names were fictional. Regardless of the video's backstory, it reignited the search for the original Jeff the Killer image. Furthermore, this was the first instance of the image potentially being of Japanese origin. Two years prior, in November of 2005, the image can be seen again on a strange website called Pia.cc, posted by a user named Mr. Omega Volt. This was found by 4chan Anon in 2018. What's peculiar about this specific image is that by looking at its EXIF data, some interesting details can be found. First, this image was made using Photoshop 6.0, which was released all the way back in 2000.
It doesn't look real.
So perhaps Jeff the Killer is a few years older, or whoever created the image simply used an older version of Photoshop. Second, it seems as if Jeff the Killer went by a different name at one point. Prettyface. Some wonder if this name derives from the famous Japanese urban legend, the Slitmouth Woman, the story of a woman whose mouth is slashed from ear to ear. She'll ask her victims if she's pretty, and depending on their response, she'll either kill them or let them free. So maybe Jeff has something to do with this legend, but this is pure speculation. Back to the website, searchers began to comb through it in search of any other leads, and found this. This is a second, earlier version of the image.
That looks more realistic.
Posted by a user named Mr. Mulholland in September of 2005. Maybe. It goes by the name White Powder 2. Compared to the first version, the eyes are completely different, the mouth isn't as distorted, and there are slightly fewer shadows on the face. Funny enough, a 5chan thread for the occult and paranormal has a broken link to an image called Prettyface, and by using the Wayback Machine, this link did in fact lead to this version of Jeff the Killer. Now, there are rumors floating around the internet of a third Jeff the Killer image that might predate the first two, but what that image looks like is up to debate. According to a 4chan Anon, it is said to depict Jeff, quote, sitting next to a dirty bathtub holding something that looked like a chunk of flesh. He also had grotesquely long fingers. When asked, Seswar added that the, quote, third picture has been long gone, out of my possession. I think the third picture was only posted once on some website back in 2005-ish? 2006? Not too sure. I would love to see that pic surface someday. I also recall there being black, sharp fingernails on the hands too. The injury did take place on both hands, but it was only superficial damage. Burned skin, red skin, so the hands are a little patchy looking due to the acid splashes on parts of the hands.
Come here, Shorty.
To this day, no such image was ever found, and is largely considered a hoax by the search team. Then there's this.
What?
Known as Green Eye Jeff within the community, some have wondered if it predates the White Powder 2 version from the PA.cc website. After some debate, it's generally considered to be a hoax, due to the blurriness of some of the details, especially around Green Eye Jeff's jawline. It looks like whoever made this image deliberately blacked out parts of his lower face and clothing. If the White Powder 2 image was made after Green Eye Jeff, then whoever made it must have been pretty good at sharpening the image and adding detail, I guess. As interest in the mystery garnered attention, a subreddit and a Discord server dedicated to the search were formed. Through their efforts, the team uncovered some peculiar findings. First, the Jeff the Killer image can be spotted again on various Japanese websites in August of 2005. This is currently the earliest known date. Furthermore, several online testimonies were gathered from people claiming to know about, or have even seen, the original image. Admittedly, Google Translate isn't the best, but let's try to take a look at some of them. On a Japanese LiveDoor blog, a user writes, quote, I remember seeing the image before processing on 2chan from 2004 to 2005, but it was buried in the net. On a thread about internet urban legends, Jeff the Killer was, of course, brought up. A user writes, quote, the original image of the last one is a do-up photo of an Asian woman with rough hair, loose teeth, and fat threads that I had seen long ago when the internet began to spread to the general public. Even if I searched for the original image, I couldn't find it at all. I wonder if anyone knows it. But most striking of all are the comments made by Mr. Mulholland, the same user who posted the White Powder 2 image on PA.cc. The search team managed to track him down on Twitter to inquire about the image. And according to him, quote, to put it simply, in mid-2005, a cropped image of a video of a middle-aged Asian woman appeared in Japan. At that point, her face was white. I edited a little in Photoshop to post to PA.cc. I remember the woman in the video coming up to the camera. I remember watching the video only once, but unfortunately, I don't have it now. It also doesn't seem to exist on the internet. By the way, this image was posted on various bulletin boards as a surprise image. This image was going around as a Japanese meme back then. So to recap, there is a video of an older Asian woman with a distinctive white face, who at some point gets close to the camera. A screenshot from that video was taken and edited into an early version of Jeff the Killer. This image was spread across the early Japanese internet as a surprise image before making its way to our internet. And that's pretty much where the search currently is. Unfortunately, I don't have any answers to showcase here. Sorry.
Damn.
The team is mainly trying to find where this mysterious video, or at least the still of the Asian woman, is. If anyone watching recalls such a video or has any helpful information, let the team know or post a comment. I'm sure they would appreciate it.
That's crazy that all these people have come
The
together
Jeff the Killer
to search.
search, like Camera Heads, has been one of my favorites because of just how odd it is and continues to be. And it really challenges that notion we've all heard, that once something is online, it's on there forever. Clearly
Except for-
not, if you've
yeah.
been a viewer of this channel for a while. And I grew up with creepypastas, so that's neat. Anyways, this is clearly an ongoing mystery, so any updates will probably be posted in the comments or on my Twitter at BlameItOnGeorge.
Well, we had a little intruder.
Yeah.
A little intruder dog.
So I've been skipping out on the videos, so I just thought I'd show my little mug. He's a cute little
Cutie.
baby. Sleepy. So obviously it was photoshopped.
Oh, yeah, right away when they started talking about the dude was like, I made a mask. I was just like,
I mean, maybe you made a mask and then you photoshopped it. So that person was just lying
yeah,
completely.
dude.
Oh,
how
I
did
put
they-
it in the closet. It means it's lost forever. That closet still exists. Maybe. But anyway.
It's not like it went to Narnia. Homie.
Yeah.
Like, where is it?
Yeah. Even if it was a mask, like, it would look more realistic in all
it
of
looked
it.
like Photoshop for sure, 100%.
Yeah, it was really
like the whole time.
Bad Photoshop. It's kind of fucked though, you know, like just taking somebody's image and then turning it into that. Like, I feel bad for that person.
But it looks nothing like them.
No,
So-
but it would still suck to have like that be your thing.
Somebody come forward. It's been haunting me for years. It's me.
Right? Yeah, it's turned into such a weird story. So
The most amazing part of all this was the research done to like track down all this information and like backtracking on, you know, the information from the image and stuff like that. Holy shit.
yeah,
That's pretty incredible. Like,
I'm surprised that it wasn't done on 4chan, because 4chan's usually the people who are like doing
figure
all
this
of
shit
that.
out. Yeah.
But they were actually on
Reddit
Discord
and
and Reddit
Discord.
trying to figure out where the image came from. And then what was that like at the beginning? Oh, it was my sister and she... Oh my god.
People made up a bunch of shit.
Like, why would you want that to be you?
People back in the early days of the internet would write blogs and just stories and fantasies about all of these things, and I know several people that would take it at like face value and be like, no, this really happened. There was like a lot of cult activity and stuff like that where they'd be like, oh no, these miracles were performed over here. And all people had access to before then was like TV, movies, and the fucking newspaper. So they're reading online like, no dude, if you've got this certain kind of cancer, you just go here and they'll like pull it out of you. And like,
Yeah.
Jeff the Killer, battered, bruised, bullied, bludgeoned, bleached,
Acid. No,
and,
acid.
and berserk. You know, he just went ham. Oh, and blazing.
Oh my God.
I forgot they set him on fire, blazing. But yeah, what a story. I couldn't imagine that there'd be. I mean, you'd have to be a big ass 13-year-old. I'm telling you right now, everybody that thinks they're tough when they're 13, you get against a grown man, you get smacked.
What?
Like a 13-year-old trying to fight like a full-grown man.
What was that about?
Jeff the Killer's only 13 years old.
Oh, yeah. I
and he's
forgot.
supposed to go on this rampage.
I
Dude,
forgot.
I'm telling you.
I forgot he was a child.
Baby powder on the hand, pimp smack.
Oh, my God.
Tell him, pimp
That might
smack.
help his look, though.
I mean, maybe it'll help him, but at the end of the day, it's just hard to follow because
There's
the
a
odds of a 13-year-old running up on a full-grown man and not getting kicked in the chest are minimal.
I like how we were like, blame it on George. It's Jorge.
No, it said George at the end.
Did it say George at the end?
It said Jorge and then George both. He's
so-
fucking with us.
Alright, so it's either way.
Either way, but great video. Blame it on George. Subscribe to his channel. Show him some love. I know that I am going to go subscribe now because I actually really enjoyed that video and I like videos like that. I am subscribed already. Check that out. I did it right before we watched this. I suggest you do the same. If you enjoyed our reaction to this video, you can give us a like. You could subscribe to the channel. You could even give us recommendations for videos you would like for us to react to in the future.
Yeah, you can do that in the comments below. You can do that on our Discord. We'll have a link to that in the description. Or if you are a patron on our Patreon, you can leave it there.
We love the suggestions and comments on Patreon.
Yes.
We also live stream. We do that every Monday and Thursday evening at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. We have a community game night, which will be the last Thursday of each and every month, and you are welcome to join us. You just got to sign up on the Discord, and hopefully we'll get you in there and we'll have some fun.
Yeah.
For this video, though, I think that's going to do it.
See you guys.
Bye.